Forgive me. I was lost in my thoughts, as usual. I've found myself in something of a quandary. Yours is an opinion I'd gladly hear on the matter. I fear our unwillingness to make difficult decisions is doing more harm than good. I regret straying from Mistra's instruction. All the suffering around us, it is our fault. I am reconsidering taking a more drastic approach. We both know the orb I carry inside me is powerful enough to burn away the Absolute's blight in an instant. But what stays my hand? Obstinacy? Misplaced morals? Simple fear of dying? You? The inevitable has been delayed far too long already. No more, I say. It's time to make a stand. With pleasure. Casey verum didnt.
Look at it, crawling and sniffing and rooting around in the filth. Is it my netherstone you seek, little piggy? Hush, hush. Orin will take care of you and your little pet. Nothing. No, not a thing. Still gasping and gagging on the foul airs of Baal's temple. I will not slice. His kind die too easily. The Murder Lord demands a better offering. Something new, sticky, sweet, and delicious. He wants you. Kethric's killer turned the corpse lover to carrion when you took his stone. Oh, but he was a dull kill. No blood to spill, no guts to rip. A desiccated husk, all dust and hollow. You must be sharpened before you set your edge against my skin. You'd prefer my whispers in the tyrant's tongue, hmm?
You've heard Gortash's whispers. I see how your skull swarms with his promises. He whinges and wails over the crown of Karsus, wanting to command it without me. Oh, how I long to slit his poxy smile from ear to ear. But I can't touch him. He bound my blade when we first conspired. Gortash didn't want me at first. Didn't trust me. Got me to wag my tongue, swear an oath, never to hang him from the hooks. Drip-train him into father's open jaws. You must kill the tyrant. Take the netherstone from his corpse and bring it to my temple.
There we slice and shred each other. The survivor claims the stones. What's left of the other is balls. Agree, and I will bring my assassins to heal. They watch you always, longing to spray the crimson from your veins. Refuse me, and you'll learn what happens to those who defy Baal's doctrine. So will your friend.
Orin demands a fight to the death. The prize for the victor, the nether stones, and the chance to control the crown alone. Accept, and you must kill Gortash. Refuse, and your companion's life may be forfeit, as might your own. Orin's assassins will hunt you like prey for slaughter.
Allies? No. We had a balance. The chosen three. But it tumbled when you turned the Bone Lord to ash. Now, Gortash tries to gouge me from the city. That festering inadequate thinks me a flesher, butchering and cleaving only to whip the herd towards his tin men's oppression. You must kill him. Gore him like a pig prepped for the spit. Only then will you be sweet and sharp, ready for the Murder Lord's purpose. Your useless promise will drip wet and red from your ruptured jaw before I let you disobey Baal. My assassins will make sure of it. Once you've remembered your place, seek out the Steel Watch's cradle in the lower city. Skewer their skull meat. Make them rust and blood. Then the Lordling will be yours to butcher. The Murder Lord will not be denied. Neither will I.
The great Orin the Red tugs your sleeve, sulking for attention. She might come to regret it yet. Gale has lived under the threat of death for some time. But Orin will make him beg for it, if we give her the time.
Orin has made off with Gale. We must rescue him. Unless you wish to kill Gortash.
That face thief Orin's made off with Gale. We'll need to rescue him. Unless we actually intend to kill Gortash for her.
Damn it all! We've got to get Gale back. If that means killing Gortash, nothing would give me greater pleasure.
Orin thinks Gale's abduction is an ultimatum to kill Gortash. Foolish woman. As if I needed more reason than I already had.
That bloody freak won't get away with this. That's my wizard she took. And we're gonna get him back.
So, we kill Gortash, or Gale dies. It is not an easy call. On the one hand, killing Gortash would be fun. On the other, Gale can be very annoying. We probably should save the wizard, though. He does have his moments.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
The rite. The Master needs him. He must attend.
Oh, I'm well aware of what the Master needs. but don't we deserve better?
Better? What do you mean, better?
After all these centuries of torment, I know what you all want. More than power. More than to walk in the sun. You want to see him dead. The right of profane ascension will be mine. And he won't see a scrap of its glory. I am going to complete the ritual as the Ascendant, and then I am going to kill him! This is your chance. Stand with me. Name me your new master. We will get our revenge. And you will all live again.
His liar's smile spells danger. He knows full well that his kin will die in the ritual, but if any of the bearers of the scar die before the ritual begins, he will lose his chance to perform the rite himself. He needs them to run willingly to their deaths, thinking they stand a chance against their master.
You're free of him. Petros was right. You've changed. Maybe you could complete the ritual. Maybe you could free us.
Perhaps we can get back at Cazador and finish the ritual. The Seven can unite and... The bonds hold. He owns us. We have no choice. We must obey. Get out of here, Astarion. Before...
What a mess. Well, at least you've met my family now. He cannot, thanks to our wriggling friend. He will be furious. And he'll be even more furious when I get to that crypt and stop him. For what it's worth, thank you. No matter what happens down there, you helped me stand up against him.
Cazador is keen to greet his wayward son once more. With open arms, or iron shackles.
I dare Cazador to send more lackeys our way. This is our territory. I'll crack anyone who tries to come into my house and hurt my people.
Cazador's minions have picked up our trail. For Astarion's sake, I hope this was the last of them.
Vampire spawn. One's proven enough, let alone a horde of them.
Those vampire spawn came for Astarion, didn't they? Lucky for him that we were here to fight them off.
Empire spawn assailing us in the night. I thought we had ample troubles as it was. At least Astarion is safe. The city, you mean? With all its noise, smoke, stone, and bustle? I would not be here given the choice, but I promised you my support. And that is what you shall have. Still, though, this place crawls with life, but little of it flourishes. I see refugees unhoused, the destitute unwanted, orphans unloved. The city is like a forest with an overgrown canopy. Light and nourishment cannot penetrate to those who need it the most, and still it draws them in. The safety of numbers, the promise of civilization, the dream of better. All that potential is too often destined to die in the dark and rot in the gutter. I wish there was a better way. I wish everyone could see the sun, have a full belly, and know nature as a friend. There is a balance that is yet to be found. Listen to me, preaching like an initiate in his cups. Yes, I hope so. But we have a battle to win before any of that.
The locked door has red text on it reading, "All are awaited, all are embraced. None shall escape." That phrase is barlist. This place has some connection to Orin and her cult of killers. You should learn more about them.
Present me well from gifts thine own, or I shall rend thy flesh from bone. A grasping hand, an offering vile. Enter now the Dread Lord's trial.
You gaze upon murder's progeny, child.
His most ill-trusted zealots.
His faithful departed.
Prodigal servants, each returned to do his bidding eternally.
This man is known to all Baldurians, and his presence sparks dread in the pit of your stomach. Before you is Saravok Arnchev, a barlist who almost brought Baldur's Gate to ruin a century ago. Davella was right. Not just an imitator, but Saravok himself.
This is the court of the Dread Lord's Tribunal. I am its custodian. Here come those who seek to transcend. Aspirants of his most profane order. The would-be unholy assassins of Baal. But these are not aspirants. You have brought traitors of Baal into our midst. Harper Worm, the abdicating hero. Your keen sense for this city has withered in your absence.
Saravok, Baal's least favorite son. Still tied to Daddy's apron strings, I see.
The history they share may be long gone, but the threat of violence between them is as fresh as newly spilled blood. Neither party will let the other walk out of here alive.
What purpose do you have in bringing this heretic to the court of Baal? Speak, or death will be your final word.
Do not parley with this madman. Saravok reclaimed his soul once, and he still traded it back to his father for a pat on the head. He has earned his second death even more than his first.
You speak of the past. I speak of the future. Well, aspirant, do the shades of yesterday speak for you too? There are two paths to the Temple of Baal. To carve your devotion into flesh, or to be the carcass that is carved upon.
You make promises that aren't yours to keep. Take care that their breaking does not break something more.
I know this one well. I have traveled in her company. Whatever else may be said of her, she answers to no one but herself. It seems there is some disagreement on who is master here.
Forgive the insolence, Master.
I never thought I'd see this. The Grand Harper, brought to her knees before me. The violence pleases Baal. The domination pleases me. Your slaves may stand, the better to bear witness. You have earned the right to stand before Baal's tribunal. Approach, aspirant, and be judged. Let us begin. Spirit of the slaughtered, return to us. Show us the truth of this murderer's intent, and let us judge her for her bloody service.
His will be done.
Can it be? Berlin herself, reduced to a specter.
You took this spirit's life, and thus its voice. So, speak for it. How was this pitiable creature slain?
Reverence.
Zeal.
Long may he reign!
Your offering pleases Lord Baal. Your words delight him. You slaughter well, aspirant. You are deemed worthy. Enter the Dreadlord's abattoir and submit to his will.
Play whatever part you must to get us closer to Orin Stone. It is not for me to question, only to remind you that it is a part.
I know the look is meant to be very murder-heavy, but it's a bit much, even for me.
Saravok Chartskvinva. Or as they say in the local parlance, Saravok can eat shit.
You stand now on the cusp of the Dreadlord's favor. One killing secures your rebirth as an unholy assassin of Baal. The slaughter of a celestial being. Make violence of its goodness. Spill its blood, and bathe in Baal's eternal rapture.
I know you! Do not listen to this ancient fuck! Free me at once!
Took you bloody long enough. You've no idea how wrinkles like mine get caught in chains like that. I suppose some thanks are in order. You did a good job putting a stop to those Baalist Burks. Though I do wish you'd figured this all out before I, put the blame for Father Lorgan's murder on that poor refugee. Well, at least it's over now. After our chat at Charessa's Caress, I thought it best to polish off the bottle I'd started. I started coming over all woozy. My joints stiffened up quicker than a brothel browser's loins. Paralyzed. My vision went black. When I woke up, I was in chains. Overall, a terrible ordeal. One deserving of a drink. I bid you good day, but it's been royally shite all round. There is no we in this equation, my friend. I assure you, I am quite finished. Besides, it's plain to see that I'm well out of my depth here. But you, well, you gave these reprobates a proper seeing to. You clearly have what I don't. Courage, insight, heroism. The city needs you. I overheard these pigs talking. There's a Baal temple deep within the old Undercity that the cult is using. A century ago, it was destroyed by a group of heroic sorts. Let's hope history repeats itself, eh?
Mind who you call history, Holyphant.
Very good. Now, let's talk and find that temple.
Yes? Nothing so grand. He was just another broken little ball spawn who tried to clamber to glory over the corpses of others. There was a time when he might have made more of himself. He was certainly given the chance after we threw him down. But he slunk back into his father's shadow instead. There is nothing more to say of him.
The vessel returns, most shamefully unleaking. Prove your faith. You hold proof of faith, but to hold and deserve are different. How have you proven yourself in the Dreadlord's eyes? Unorthodox. But a show of faith nonetheless. Walk in blood.
Stone seals this chamber against the world.
I confess that the last time I came here, I thought it would be my tomb. You can see why.
The Baal amulet trembles in frightened awe. Murder. Bloody murder. Who else but Baal would these symbols honor? Will you return once you cross this threshold?
Hush, hush. I hear footsteps trip-trapping on the Murder Lord's stones. It refused the Murder Lord's command and comes crawling into his sanctum with the tyrant unpulped. I know what you did. Spilled my grandfather's crimson. He was mine. He showed me how to slice and slit. He guides my dagger still. Oh, did it think it could protect? Did it think it could save? Only the blades can offer salvation. You do not lie, underling. It is your blood I am destined to spill. Your death spit will stain these walls, little lamb. Your murder should have been exquisite. A crypt-born effigy to greet Baal's bleeding dawn. And now it will be nothing. Come to me, Father. Set my flesh to your unholy purpose.
A metallic tang fills the air as the Slayer's form is drained of life. Ashes to ashes, blood to blood, you have robbed another god of his chosen. A glint of light on something in the blood catches your eye.
Another stone.
Time to pay Gortash another visit. I'm sure he'll want to know all about this.
Seek him out. He is all that stands between us and the Elder Brain.
Your interventions are more timely than those of the gods themselves. I owe you my thanks. And my life. Not sure I've got the energy for any vigorous adventuring after all that excitement. I'll be back at camp, counting my blessings.
At this point, nobody can control the brain, and it knows it. We must seize the third stone before it breaks free.
Orin relished tormenting this poor soul.
I would be lying if I told you I was certain we would walk out of that temple alive. We faced Baal there once before, and I was not ready to count on luck a second time. But luck had no part in it. Just you, and now it is Gortash's turn. We'll need his stone to finish this, however you plan to acquire it. So let us go pay Lord Lyre a visit.
That's Orin dealt with. Good riddance. Now that we have her netherstone, we're one big step closer to finishing this, once and for all.
The blight that was Orin has been purged from the world. And we have another netherstone also. A significant step towards stopping this evil, once and for all.
Baal's chosen has been bled. May her torment be tenfold of that which she inflicted.
I've been threatened with the sharp end of a dagger before, but never with such a monster as Orin holding the blade. Certainly would have been a disappointment to spend so long resisting the instructions of my own god, only to die as the plaything of someone else's. And you're so sure you wouldn't have fallen for her tricks? She might have been a raving lunatic, but she knew exactly how to lower your defenses. She appeared to me as Elminster. Came to our camp while you were gone, telling me of a Netherese artifact he'd found. One he thought could turn the tide in our favor. Part of me thought it was too good to be true. But the greater part decided to trust my old friend. Should have known it wouldn't be so easy. I hope we never see Orin's like again. Mind flayers and absolutists I can handle, but she was nothing but cruelty and carnage. Another whose god should go unworshipped.
Hell's take that Baal freak. She would have bled the whole world just for the fun of it. We've got her netherstone now. One step closer to getting the netherbrain under control.
Orin's dead.
Good riddance to the shape changer. Couldn't have happened to a worse wretch. I can sneak in. The security shouldn't be too tight. A few charmed innocents, maybe. Lots of talk about the brilliant...
This is the Palace of Cazador Zar. Entry is forbidden. Leave now, citizen.
The guard's words are clear, but spoken without thought or intent. Behind her eyes, you see nothing. She must be one of the charmed thralls Astarion mentioned.
So this is it. I'm home. There's the same fading carpet. The same tasteless art. Nothing's changed. But gods, everything feels different. It does feel strange. Breaking into your own home. Especially if murder's on your mind. Then again, this is hardly the strangest thing we've done together. Although it could be the most satisfying. Well, the second most satisfying. Oh no. It's much worse than that. They're fanatics. Here of their own free will, and utterly devoted to Cazador. Each one came to our door, and begged to be given his eternal gift. They're sure he'll turn them if they serve him well enough. He'd almost feel sorry for the poor, deluded souls. But they're idiots, who brought this upon themselves, so don't. If my dear siblings were right, Cazador's hiding somewhere below the palace. After so many years, I would have spotted any secret tunnels out here. The only place that was off-limits to us was his study. If the entrance is anywhere, it'll be there, through the ballroom. Oh, I've never been less sure of anything. But if I don't face him now, I never will. I'll spend the rest of my life running, watching the shadows, never feeling safe. No. This has to happen. Here and now. Also, there's the small matter of all that power I can steal from the bastard. So that'll be nice. I know you're there, Golly. Stop skulking and show yourself.
You always were sharp, little one. Sharp enough to cut yourself.
It's taking everything I have not to grind your rotten carcass to dust.
Don't be mad at Cody, child. I only did my job. Only kept you in line.
You tortured us. For days at a time.
Oh, yes. And you sang so sweetly for me. None of the others screamed like you did. But you're home now, and you brought me a treat, eh? A new friend for Cody. Not very nice. Not very friendly. Why are you here then, little one, if not to see Cody?
Isn't it obvious? I'm going to kill Cazador.
How dare you? As if you could lay a finger on the Master, you ungrateful little brat! Gode will not let you get away with blasphemy. Gode will see you punished!
Quietly. Anyone could be listening. Well, I was thinking first we find Cazador and then we kill Cazador. That's about it, really. We can workshop the details as we go.
The door is covered in intricate text, but you can't see anywhere a key might fit. Only a small round hollow engraved with a family crest. Looking closer, you recognize the writing. It's the same Kozakuran script from the dictionary you found. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door swings open.
You can't be here. No one in, no one out.
You're new. Cazador never kept guard dogs before.
The runaway spawn. You reek of the Master's scent. Come with us. Come to Master.
Excuse me? I will not be ordered around my own house by some blow-in mutt.
We bring you to him. We get his favor.
You stand on a clean metal platform. A beautiful but antiquated elevator. There are some scuffs to show its age, signs of things dragged onto it over the years. But it seems to be in good working order.
What in the hells? I never knew this was here. This was always Cazador's private quarters. Only he ever came in here. Well, him and the unfortunate souls we brought to feed him.
Approaching the cells, you're met with hollow-eyed faces. There's an almost physical stink of decay and neglect.
I don't even know what this prison is. He hid all of this from me. And the others. If I had to guess, I'd say they're part of his ritual. But where in the hells do they come from?
You? I know you. You're the one from the tavern. You smiled and joked and got me drunk.
No. You're dead.
You called me so many sweet things. My name sounded like a lyric on your tongue.
Sebastian.
You remember me.
You were handsome. Shy. You'd never been kissed.
You taught me how. And then you destroyed me.
It can't be.
Beneath the dirt and blood, you notice that every prisoner has a rune carved into their flesh.
Then they're bound to the Black Mass, too. Bound through the scars. Through me. I know these faces. Every one that shares my scar. They're my conquests. I pursued them. Seduced them. And brought them to Cazador. It told us he was feeding on them, but he turned them to spawn. He turned every last one, so we'd have souls for this cursed ritual.
How long?
What?
How long have I been down here?
"170 years. You were one of my first.
My family. My friends. They're gone. You took them from me. You took everything from me. Free. We'll never be free while that monster lives.
That's why we're here. To destroy Cazador.
You can't. It's not possible. The Grand Chamber. Just ahead. But even if you can kill him, what then? What happens to us? I don't know.
Trust me when I say I know the feeling, but you can resist the urge.
Whatever you do, just do it quickly. I can't go on waiting.
We'll be back. You have my word. Gods above. He kept Sebastian. I should have known what Cazador was capable of. He's played us for such fools. Not just 7 spawn to placate the devil. 7 spawn and 7,000 souls bound to them in blood. Everyone, whoever trusted me enough to let down their guard, innocents, idiots, and the unlucky. It doesn't matter. I will need to sacrifice them all if I want to perform the ritual. What's the point? They're as good as dead. I thought they were dead. If they are unleashed, they will cause incredible carnage. They will be ravenous. They must die. Better they serve a purpose. They're in a state far beyond anything that ever happened to me. Decades of hatred will have piled up inside of them. I can't even begin to imagine. We must find Cazador. This must end. Well, you clearly want to say something. I'm not sure. I've been weighing my options. On the one hand, they're the key to my unlocking eternal power and freedom. On the other, well, it's my fault they're here. Yes, it was Cazador's command. I had no choice, but... it seems now I do. And what am I owed? What about the injustices I've suffered? Am I not entitled to anything? All that matters now is killing Cazador. I've earned that, if nothing else. We can deal with the prisoners when the time is right. After all, they're not going anywhere. Well, you clearly want to say something. Alive? No. But animated? Yes, I'm sure they are. If Cazador turned the victims we brought him to spawn, he'd have done the same to the children. With glee, I imagine. But let's not forget why we're here. Cazador needs to die. Everything else comes second.
A vampire nest. You truly can find everything in the city. I'd better keep my throat protected.
A lair of undeath. Most unnatural. We must tread carefully.
On the pillow rests a skull with a scroll clamped in its bony jaws. The skull's empty eye sockets flare with an eldritch gleam. You feel invited somehow to witness the skull's memories. It seems urgent. This skull is all that remains of the vampire Velioth. He turned Cazador, gave him the gift, and then taught him the rules of vampiric existence. Velioth's first lesson is always to dominate. Allow none to be your equal. Velioth recalls when Cazador reached out to a former friend. His punishment was to watch as Velioth drained his friend dry. Velioth's second lesson is that power comes from solitude. To share with others is to be weak, and to be weak is to fail and die. Velioth recalls when Cazador rebelled against him. Cazador suffered 11 years of impalement because he failed. Velioth's third lesson is to act not in haste. A near immortal has time to plan, time to act only when others will pay the price of action. Velioth recalls Cazador, his lessons learned, killing him in the rite of perfect slaughter. How they both laughed. Velioth recalls Cazador boiling the flesh from his skull, and then, to mock him, clamping his schooling scroll in Velioth's jaws. The skull's eyes flash a final time, and its jaws sag open. The scroll with all of Cazador's rituals is yours. Velioth is no more.
Even his precious rules.
Who stands before us? Is this truly our prodigal son? Do not slouch before me, boy. Have you no respect for yourself? Look at you, crawling back after abandoning your family. You should be begging our forgiveness. The cattle know about things of which they know nothing. This ritual is centuries in the making. Nothing shall stop it now.
That's what you think, you son of a bitch.
You truly forgot my power. You truly thought our bond as creator and creation was all that stopped you from killing me? Oh, you are weak, my child. You are a small, pathetic little boy who never amounted to anything. But today, you will finally do something worthwhile. You will burn, and I will ascend.
No! Stop him! Get me out of this! Witness the birth of the Vampire Ascendant! Ecce Dominus! No healing sleep for you. Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. One last thrust. And I'll be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if they die and I ascend, I won't have to rely on the parasite to walk in the sun. I'll be free. Truly. Completely free. Isn't that what you want? You're right. I can be better than them. But I'm not above enjoying this.
Is it over? Is he...
Yes. He's gone.
What does that mean for us? What business is it of yours?
It will become everyone's business if you try to feast on half the city. This is just a friendly warning. Your choices are simple, really. You can hide here, living in the shadows like parasites. Or you can be more than what he made us to be. You can choose differently, of course. But the consequences are on your head.
And what does it mean for them?
Now that is a question.
Cazador's staff controlled everything during the ritual. If it controls the cells too, you could decide their fate.
Good. They deserve a chance at life. Nature will handle their fates from here.
The poor wretches in the cells are innocent. They shouldn't have to suffer just because I lured them here. They'll need someone to lead them. Take the tunnels into the Underdark. Find somewhere, well, not safe, but less perilous.
What? No, we can't.
Just try to keep them out of trouble. I think we're done here. Let's go. That's it. He's gone. After all these years, these centuries, it's really over. I'm glad you think so, because I'm not so sure. I just feel numb. What I've lost. What I've gained. It's all so much. And God, all those spawn. Free in the Underdark. I need some time, I think. Just to let it all sink in. Let's just go. This place reeks of death, and I want to feel alive again.
You killed one vampire, but released 7,000 of his spawn. Have you lost all sense?
They were innocents. To kill them would have been an even greater crime.
And our children? What of their fate?
Cazador turned everyone we brought him into spawn. I can only assume your children were somewhere in those wretched cells. You'll find them in the Underdark, although you may not like what you find.
This is difficult news. We will need to decide what it means. Thank you for what you have done. Slaying Cazador was a great justice. As for the rest, well, time will tell.
So Astarion didn't fulfill his master's ambitions for himself. At least that means he's his own man. Though, I'm a little surprised he didn't covet those powers.
Astarion resisted the allure of Cazador's would-be powers, and I am glad of it. Whatever he would have gained would have come at a great price.
He'd hate to hear me say this, but I'm so fucking proud of Astarion. He could have had it all, but he kept his soul instead. Wasn't sure he had it in him, but he's changed so much. Overcome so much darkness. Oh, I could smooch that pointy little face.
Astarion chose right, and any well-trained Githyanki would have chosen the same. We seek might not for individual power, but for the good of the collective. I may no longer serve Vlaakith, but I still attend to a collective, the allies of the Prince of the Comet, and, of course, the one we've made for ourselves. To seek power for personal glory alone is a farce. Astarion was wise to see it.
Astarion showed restraint where most others wouldn't. He might not appreciate the sentiment, but I'm proud of him.
I should probably start getting used to the shadows again. Who knows how long I have left in the sun? I know. Doesn't mean it stings any less. Maybe never seeing the sun again is just the price of freedom. I think I do. Assuming we survive, of course, because a horrible death is always just around the corner with you. There's something I'd like to show you, if that's all right. Something out in the city. This way. It's not far.
The graveyard is appropriately silent. There isn't a proverbial soul around.
Nearly 200 years. And I never came back. Not since the night I woke up down there. I had to punch a hole in the coffin and claw my way through 6 feet of dirt. Then when I finally broke the surface, retching up dirt and congealed blood, Cazador was waiting. From that day on, I was his. Until today. Maybe. But he did take it. There's almost nothing left of the person I was. Just a name on a rock. For nearly 2 centuries, I stalked the streets like a ghost. And the person I was lay here. Dead and buried. Now I need to figure out who I am. What I want. I feel the same. You were by my side through all of this. Through bloodlust and pain and misery. You were patient. You cared. You trusted me when that was an objectively stupid thing to do. I feel safe with you. Seen. And whatever the future holds for me, I don't want to lose that. Thank you. Well, I should probably fix this. Cute. I've been dead in the ground for long enough. It's time to try living again. With everything that life has to offer. You know, I didn't care for you when we first met, but I do now. Being with you is about more than lust or manipulating you into a tactical alliance. I love you. I love this. And I want it all. It feels ridiculous to still be thinking about Cazador. He's gone. I'm here. I won. But I still keep reliving everything that happened. Playing it over and over in my mind. Invigorating. Terrifying. All of the above. I'm still trying to understand it, really. I came so close to losing everything back there. To losing myself. Back at the ritual, all I could see was the power on offer and the safety it promised. I was so blinded by it. Just as Cazador was. But you saw something in me. Someone else I could be. Someone who could break the cycle of power and terror that started centuries ago. You saved me back there. I may not have appreciated it at the time, but I do now. Thank you. So am I. Fun as all that power would have been, this feels more me. When I look at my future, anything and everything feels possible now. And I get to share it with you as a partner. An equal. You saved me from myself. And let me walk a new path where I can be free. Truly, honestly, free. This is a gift, you know. Thank you. I won't forget it.